Hi everybody, welcome to this week's cooking session. This week's recipe is going to be quesadillas, so I'm just going to pass you over to Claire.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's cooking session. So this week, as Lewis had mentioned, we are going to do some quesadillas. So firstly, what to do is wash and prep your veg and leave to the side. Then, once you've washed and finally washed your vegetables and stuff and left them to the side, you're going to just grate our cheese. Okay, so just get your cheese, grate it, and once it hits grated, just leave to the side. So just making sure that you've got all your cheese. I have gave us some mature cheddar cheese, but you could use any kind of cheese you want. So you can, if you want, you can use a lower fat cheese, or you could use a stronger cheese, whatever is your preference. You can add to it. If you have a wee bit extra cheese, maybe you could add some more and just do like a 2 or a 3 cheese kind of taster. So that's our cheese grated. Then what we're going to do is we are just going to finely slice our spring onions. Oops, try not to get the water over your face like I just did. So what to do is you can either finely slice them using a knife, or if you want, you can, if you've got some cooking scissors, just cut them with the scissors as well. So what to do is you're just going to take any of the wee loose ends at the end and discard of them. Okay, just get rid of your rubbish. And then, as I say, you're just going to finely chop it. When you're chopping them as well and you're finely chopping them, you're just going to make sure that they are all roughly the same size. Okay. And you're just going to, you can use all the spring onion right away down to the bottom. Just continuing to. So again, as I said, you can do this any way that you want, making sure that you're keeping your fingers out the way. It's dead important that when we are doing it and we're finally chopping it, that all the pieces are kinda almost as even as they can be. Again, this is just more so for the cooking process rather than anything else. So just so that they all cook evenly while you've added it. So there we go, almost there. There's nothing more nicer than the smell of some fresh spring onions. They smell delicious. Okay, so as you can see, they're all nice and thin. Okay, don't know. There you go. Don't know if you can maybe see it as properly, but yeah, you want it nice and thin. Just leave that over to the side. Then we're going to finely dice our pepper. Again, just using your knife, taking it around the top. Okay, I've already kind of done mine. And that just means that you can take out this part quite evenly. Just half it down and then half it again. Okay. And then if you've got any extra bits of bite, you just kind of cut away from yourself. Getting rid of any bits that you don't really necessarily want. Do this one again. Do that. Okay. Oops. You don't have to do that. You can use these pieces, but if some people like to kind of take it away. And then what we're going to do is start off with really fine slices, okay? So you really want to keep it as thin as your spring onion. So there you go, nice thin sliced pepper, okay? And then you're just going to take your knife and just put them into small pieces. This means that when you're cooking it as well, they stay slightly crunchy, but they cook through as well. So there you go, look, just a couple of wee pieces just to show you how small our pepper pieces should be. Alright, so no more bigger than this, okay, so really small cubed sizes of pepper is what you want, and it just means that when you're cooking it with the cheese, it cooks through properly, okay, so just nice and small. So you're going to do that with all your pepper. Then, once you have done your pepper, if you want to use the chilli, again this is very optional, you don't have to use the chilli, but if you like a little kick and a little spice, it's good to use. you're going to just take the bottom and the top off of your chilli, okay? And then just discard off those pieces. Then to take out the heat from your chilli, you de-seed it, okay? Because that is where most of the heat comes from. If you want to use the pepper also and you're not too sure about spice, you can use a different colour. So you could maybe use a green one or an orange chilli, as they are less spicier than normal. Again, you're just going to do the same as what you did with your pepper. So again, finely slice it, okay? And then just put it into small pieces. And you're going to just use half of the chilli for that, okay? Again, it's important that you just take the seeds out, as that's where all the spice kind of sits, okay? Make sure that when you've used your chilli as well, keep your hands away from your face or your eyes of it, because it will nip really bad. So make sure that once you've used your chilli, to go and wash what you've kind of touched. Alright, so again, just leaving that over to the side. Then we have our coriander. So what to do with your coriander is, a good wee way to get it to cut quite finely is just grab it all and put it into a bunch. Alright, again with coriander you can use all parts of it, you don't have to take the stems or anything off. So if you just bunch it up, okay, like this, as you can see, or you can just roughly chop it, but sometimes this chops a little easier because you can hold it all together, and then just roughly chop it. Again, trying to do it as thin as you can, okay, just keeping your fingers out the way as you're doing so. There you go. And if you want to kind of go back over if you've missed anything, just take your leaves. It smells so fresh and wonderful when you cut into the coriander as well. Okay, so just making sure that all the leaves are kind of roughly the same size. Alright. Just finish that off. And that is mostly all the prep that needs to be done. Alright. So once you've prepared our veg and our cheese, what you're going to do is you are then going to put it all into a large bowl and just mix everything, all your vegetables, spring onions, red pepper, chilli, coriander and cheese together. Okay, so mix that in a bowl, alright? So the hard bit is done. We have prepared all our veg, so we have finely sliced our spring onions, diced our pepper, chillies and coriander. Now we have mixed it hopefully all within the bowl. Look at all those beautiful colours. It looks so bright and beautiful, and it's just going to taste just as tasty. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take a small amount of mixture. Again, this depends on how you want to do it. You can use one tortilla, fold it over, just evenly mix in your mixture, depending on the size of your frying pan. What you want to do is, the key thing is not to have your frying pan too hot, because it will cook the outside quicker. Alright, so you're just going to take a spoonful of your mixture. It's not about how much you put in, because you don't want to put too much in, because it starts to ooze out. So I'm going to do it as like little halves rather than, because it just seems to cook a bit better in the frying pans that I have here. So just a wee bit of the mixture, okay? If you want to do more, just add in extra cheese and stuff like that to the bowl as well, okay? If you want to add a wee bit more. Alright, just evenly spread out your mixture, okay? Not getting it too close to the edge, alright? And just folding over your wrap, pressing down gently, and you're just going to then place that into the frying pan. And it says here roughly about a minute to a minute and a half per side. Again, that is just down to preference, it's just there as a guidance, okay? If you have some extra things that you want to do, so you can kind of zhoosh these up, kind of make them a bit more posher. Or if you want to, rather than make them as a snack, because they are great for like movie nights and things like that, or for just quickness and putting into lunch boxes, etc. But if you want to posh them up a little bit, you could add in some grilled chicken, you could add some pulled pork, beef, whatever you want, you can add in those ingredients as long as you're kind of cooking them through or they're cooked already firmly through. And they're great, you can have them as a side or as a full meal. So they're great, the kids absolutely love them. So again, just making sure that that's, and then just again pressing over into the side. Alright, making sure that it's all evenly covered. It's also good, you can make these really quickly as well, and you can just kind of put your ingredients, you can chill your ingredients in the fridge as well, which is quite good, so you can have them over a couple of nights as well. They are so tasty. Again, the recipe is just there as a wee guidance, so you can add whatever you want. Just cooking that over. To the side again. Just giving it a wee press down as well, just keeping a wee eye on it. I'm just going to turn my heat up a wee bit. Just see how we're getting on. Again, what to do is keep your pan dry as well. That is also very key. Okay? So just keeping fingers away from the pan, I suppose. You just press down. If you can press down, it just means that the heat comes through and makes the cheese. So just turning this over. Again, it's just slightly cooking, so we'll need to give that another wee bit, but you can feel the heat coming through and you can feel the cheese oozing through. Just finish off. Just add the rest of the ingredients to this one. It goes a long way as well. Like this goes a long, long way. It doesn't look a lot, but actually goes further than what you think. All your ingredients, all your cheese and peppers and things out. So in total I have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wraps with just those that amount of ingredients. Right, we've got a wee bit extra, just stick it in. Okay, just keeping a wee eye on it. Just gently pressing down. Make sure you cook all your tortilla. They go all nice and crispy. Again, if you want, I have given these mostly soft white tortillas, but if you want to be adventurous as well, you can use, I have the best of both, so I have wholemeal ones here as well. You can use them, or you can use ones with seeds, or you can use the ones with like a spice. I know you get tomato ones and stuff like that as well, so it's good to be kind of adventurous. You can pick these up very, very simply. Cheap within any local supermarket, so they're easily, and you can freeze these as well, so if you don't use them all, you can bung your wraps into the freezer and just take them out when you need them as well. So that's quite a good thing with your wraps, because I know that sometimes, depending, they do come in like 6 or 8 packs, so sometimes they can go a little out of date quite quick, but you can freeze them, and then just if you're going to do it again, you just take them out as and when you need them. Alright, there we go. So they're simply toasting, look. I don't know if you can see it properly, but it's going nice and toasted on that side, and you just want that for either side of your tortillas. Alright.